over on 11 Alive Plus. I'm meteorologist Melissa Nord tracking this weather impact alert today. We've got one round of rain and storms that have moved through so far this morning, and additional showers and storms are possible. And you know, if this were a normal commuting day, this would have caused an absolute mess on your morning commute. But it's not. It's a travel week, so it's actually caused a bigger risk and impact to travelers at the airport this morning as well. So I want to show you a big picture. There's our line of storms from this morning, and you can see at this point they are now pretty far east of Atlanta. We have still got some heavy rainfall that's moving through parts of the metro at times, but really the area that's getting the biggest impact at the moment is out to the east near Athens. So we've had a couple of storm reports, a new tree down in Alpharetta. Let me actually query over here which roadway that was. That was blocking a couple of roadways as well. Kimball Bridge Road at Tuxford Drive. So that was some tree damage that we had there. We also had some trees down out in Polk County. One of those at the intersection of Bethlehem Road and Old Cedartown Road, and also another tree that was down. Let's see, it's showing up the same thing. Another one, Fish Creek Road. We also had some trees that came down in Bartow County that we know of that was not far from you, Harley. There's a big power plant up there. Okay, so where are the storms right now? Well, that heaviest rain is now just east of Athens. So this is really at the outer fringes of our 11 Alive viewing area, moving into Elbert County near Elberton. We can see still in eastern Madison and Oglethorpe counties, we've still got a little bit of that heavy rain. And then down to the south, if we go a little further south, this right here is Greene County. We've got Oglethorpe County. We've got some heavy rain through Maxey's, and that's going to be pushing out towards Greensboro in Greene County, also in Madison. So if you go just east of Madison, heavy rain approaching that Peachtree Palachi River Road as it crosses right under the interstate of I-20. So it's now the heaviest rain east of Covington, east of Conyers, all the way out now east of Madison. Still some of that heavy rain arriving there in Monticello. And then we can also see a little bit of heavy rain in southern Butts County there near Jackson. We'll go further up to the north. The heavy rain has exited the metro, but still some light rain on the heels of that heavy band of thunderstorms and embedded rain there, heavy rainfall. You can see some light rain stretching north from McDonough up through Stockbridge. Doesn't matter what side of the perimeter you're on, the heavy duty stuff is done, but the light rain is still falling. So it's kind of like insult to injury, so to speak. There, I will tell you, as I was driving into work this morning in the middle of that heavy rain, there were so many leaves drowning, pine needles and everything, and they were blocking a lot of the drains on the sides of the road. So when I was forecasting yesterday on air, I was telling everyone on 11 Live Morning News that clear the leaves from the storm drains around your house, or at least from the drains around your house, so that the water has a pathway to go. And that's the issue we've seen the most of on the roadways this morning. It's not been the number of downed trees. It's been the number of, hydroplaning risks, the extent of hydroplaning risks, because there's all this standing water just by the curb because the water is not flowing as easily into those drains. So light rain continues over the metro up through Sandy Springs. Now, as we go to the north, this is not like the initial leading edge of the storms, but still some pockets of heavier rain again, stretching through Gordon County near Calhoun. We'll travel to the north up towards Gilmer County and also Fannin counties. Some of this heavy rain moving in towards Ellijay. Another one there that's about to move in towards Blue Ridge. We'll go a little further back to the west. You can see another area of that rain picking up in intensity in Rome. And this is not going to arrive and be as intense as what things were when that initial burst of heavy rain came to your house first thing this morning. But it's just kind of a quick little pickup in the intensity of that rain as well. So again, there are no warnings on the map right now. All the severe thunderstorm warnings are over. This leading edge of that line of storms, this Boeing structure, we told you yesterday the storms will weaken as they get into Georgia. That's exactly what played out. It was strongest in West Georgia and has been weakening as it's gotten further east, but still could produce a couple gusts to maybe 35 to 40 miles an hour. Now, I've zoomed this out so you can kind of see we've got our line that lost the lightning, lost the thunder as it made it into Atlanta. But we're looking to the west, and you see this here. We've got a few more storms that are ongoing in Birmingham. This stuff is not well organized right now. The atmosphere has been worked over. But what it is doing is it's moving east. And this section right here on the south side of our metro hasn't really seen rain yet this morning. So if we were to see stronger storms coming in, it's going to be south of I-20 down here, kind of Montgomery to the north, all the way up towards Anniston or so. And then maybe in towards Upson, Pike, and Lamar County, as long as we don't work over the atmosphere much. But excuse me, what I actually think we're going to see more of a window for stronger storms again today might not be until the evening hours. So today's severe weather outlook level 1 over all of North Georgia. You notice here in this yellow shade on the map, this is a level 2 risk of severe weather. So that's where, if we take this radar back, remember we see a few little storms that haven't moved into an area yet that's seen rain today. So the atmosphere is a little more primed, so to speak, to see some of these become stronger severe. So we're going to watch those intensify again as we get into the afternoon in this direction, and then they may try to pivot in here this evening as well. Let's take a look at that rain coming down from across Metro Atlanta. This is our live camera in Rome showing you the rain picking up a little bit in intensity, but I'm not seeing significantly reduced visibility there. I'm seeing the flags blowing in those breezy winds. It's just kind of a rainy morning, so to speak. We've seen that really quick push of rain arrive there around 7:30 or so this morning. Live look at Athens, where it's finally calming down a little bit as well. We had that really heavy rain hit you in Athens about 30 minutes ago. Now it's looking better on this quiet week without classes. Okay, so round number 1's exiting. We're watching showers and storms to our west that will again pivot in later. This is our forecast track showing you as we get towards 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight, the storms developing and moving back in. Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, these models were slow by about 2-ish hours this morning, 2 to 3 hours. They were slow. So we might actually see this next round moving in closer to 5 o'clock in Atlanta instead of 8 o'clock. But something later on today, what's back to our west, south of Birmingham, that will try to redevelop into a line of storms. If we don't see breaks in that rain for long, this is just going to be locally heavy rain. If you do see breaks in that rain for a while, the atmosphere could recharge. I always talk about it like a battery. When we get rain and storms coming over an area, that stabilizes the atmosphere. Our battery is depleted. It's drained. Well, we need dry hours to recharge our battery so we have energy for more storms. Well, I'm not sure, unless we have really strong wind energy. I'm not sure if we're going to see widespread severe weather there, but certainly some heavy rain, and I'll be watching the southwest side of the metro for some of that storm activity. You can see this forecast track dragging that line of storms into our area as we head later into the evenings. Now, that was our graph model. I'm going to show you a different model because we have a lot of time on streaming, so we can kind of get to the nitty gritty. This is at 12 o'clock, round number 1 gone. You can see it's developing round number 2 to the west, and then it brings them in again in the evening hours. So starting in northwest Georgia around 4, 5 o'clock, and then getting into the metro around 7, 8, 9 o'clock. So they don't have that dissimilar of timing, but what they're not doing well is we call it initializing. And when I say initializing, I mean, what does the radar actually look like now versus what do our models show it looking like? So here's what it actually looks like on radar. You can see we've got our one line of storms, really heavy rain and showers out here, and has a couple of storms here. Well, we're going to take you to DeKalb County really quick for a live camera. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you, Jesse. This is our camera up in DeKalb County. This is our tower camera. And normally on this, you can see all the skyscrapers and everything in the background. Well, I see the peak of the Pencil Building, I like to call it. But you see this low cloud cover that's developed over the city and a lot of rain coming down. So we're up in the clouds here, but we still have some rain coming down. So I wanted to talk about this model, like how they start. Well, look at this model. This is our graph model. This is how it's starting, so to speak, at 10. Well, we know this line of storms is actually here, and we know this stuff's actually here. So it's a little bit slow in its timing. So that's why that says 8 o'clock, but I told you it might be more like 5 o'clock when we see that next round coming in. All right, let's talk about how much rain we've already had come into North Georgia. You can see here we had kind of these banding features on the radar estimated rainfall. Basically, this put down a pretty quick ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch of rain or so. I'll query a couple of these so you can see. 0.4, 0.8, 0.8. Most of us got just under an inch or so. Now there's light rain falling, but that's not going to add too much to the rain gauge, so to speak, to come. But with more showers and storms possible later on this evening, we could pick up another half an inch or so of rainfall. So additional rain coming on our model here. You can see a ½ inch to an inch of additional rainfall coming. So forecast track again, we have another wave coming in probably early this evening rather than 8, 9, 10 o'clock. I think it might be a little earlier than what this model gives allusion to. That will clear out, and then let's talk about what's going to follow. For your Wednesday, the rain and the front is out of here. So we'll see increasing sunshine throughout Wednesday morning and then plenty of sunshine, gusty winds by Wednesday afternoon. So when we see that transpire, colder air is going to settle its way in, and that's going to make for a sunny but cold Thanksgiving. You can see Thanksgiving morning at 9 a.m., breezy northwest winds, and these don't show you the temperatures. And I do want to just show you the temperatures that'll be coming, but we'll get to that after traffic here in a couple of minutes. At the airport right now, 59, look at that. We had a ground stop at the airport earlier that was in effect for about an hour and a half or so. Now we have delays on average of 45 minutes. This is a huge travel day, and that's not good news for those who are hitting the skies to travel for the Thanksgiving holiday. But we know, what is it this year? 90% of Americans are traveling by car, so this rain plays an impact on the roads as well. For that, let's turn to our traffic anchor, Rachel Cox-Rosen. Rachel, I know it hasn't been a normal commute morning, but certainly the weather has caused some issues at least.
Yeah, definitely, Melissa. I think that if there wasn't the rain out there, I'd be seeing all green on my maps. It would be all good, but we do have slicker roadways. That always means a little bit more congestion and more likelihood of crashes, and we are certainly seeing incidents this morning. Heavy slowdowns right now driving into Stockbridge and toward McDonough in Henry County on I-75. This is a look on the left side here at southbound lanes right by Mount Zion Boulevard. There had been a stalled big rig just past Hudson Bridge Road, so that means those residual slowdowns have stuck around because of that rain. You can see I turned radar on. Don't usually have all this green off the maps here, but that's just showing that there is still light to moderate rain across our interstates this morning. So seeing speeds in the teens from south of Morrow all the way down to about McDonough, and then going northbound, seeing just speeds moderately slow in the mid to high 30s going northbound on 75 towards Stockbridge out of McDonough this morning. Let's check in on other areas. Got a crash here blocking a right lane of the exit from I-20 eastbound onto I-285 in Fulton County. So this is the West Expressway, so impacting Douglas County and Cobb County drivers trying to head toward the perimeter this morning. So you can see a couple of the vehicles involved off the right shoulder, and then at the top of the screen here, those police lights. That's really what's slowing things down. You know how it is. You see flashing lights, you slow your brakes. You don't want to get pulled over. That's what's happening here. So I suggest if you're going to take I-20 east out of Douglas County, Cobb County going toward the perimeter, go ahead and push to the left. Let's look at those conditions on my maps here. Seeing a few miles of speeds in the teens, and then of course all that green indicating there is light rain in this area as well, not helping things. So right now your drive time out of Douglasville much slower than I would expect for this time of day, and with kids out of school and fewer folks working. It's about 20 minutes from Highway 92 Fairburn Road to the perimeter. Other side, the East Expressway, I-20 westbound, also a bit slow out of Conyers. It's 19 minutes, Highway 138 to 285. All right, let's head into Cherokee County. Check in on things on I-575. You're taking a look at southbound lanes on the right side of your screen, slowing as you head south of Highway 92. So this is also south of Woodstock here. There had been a crash right at that entrance to the express lane, so exit 5 from 575. That has cleared, but possibly these slowdowns are a result of that crash. So you're seeing speeds averaging out in the 30s south of Woodstock on 575. But north of that, let's look on the bright side. Between Canton and Woodstock, Seeing speeds in the 60s and 70s, not too bad. It's also not too bad on 75 south out of Kennesaw. Barrett Parkway to the perimeter is just 11 minutes. Windward Parkway to 285 for my Alpharetta drivers, looking much better than usual. It's 13 minutes there. And then not bad at all out of Gwinnett County, 16 minutes, Highway 316 to the perimeter. All right, we are doing extended weather and traffic coverage this morning here on 11 Alive Plus. So make sure you stick with us to know what to expect on the first busy travel day of Thanksgiving week.